Hello, everybody. As you know, we are in a cancel culture war right now in a storm. And today I want to give you another example of all of this. There is a comedian, K. Ray, who has lost his job at the theater, Schmidt Theater, Schmidt Theater in Hamburg last week. He has put out a message declaring proudly that he still stands up for freedom of expression and freedom of speech, and that he will not apologize for what he has said. So today I want to run you through the joke that got him fired. And as you know, it's always the worst thing to explain jokes, and therefore I thought maybe I should do exactly that. As I read his joke, you must imagine that he stands in the crowd and that he talks to other people. He is reacting to them, and you will notice in a moment. And I will have to interfere with my explanation. So this is actually not for you to giggle. This is just really an explanation of why he was fired. So he stood on the stage and said, "We live in a country where fellow comedian Jan Böhmermann should almost go to jail, and singer Helene Fischer is showered with prizes. That should be the other way around. No, actually, both should go to jail." So that's the first part. It's not yet, it's not yet the riot. Helene Fischer is a singer, and she is a flawless musician, no doubt. She makes people cringe for the songs she chooses. I mean, she doesn't really have a choice. She doesn't have much of a choice. But the songwriting behind her hits is usually not as impressive as her voice is. And for that, of course, he would suggest she should actually maybe go to jail. Jan Böhmermann is a comedian working for the public broadcaster ZDF, and if you watch this show, you probably think, damn it, have the Germans gassed everybody who could tell a joke? And of course, that's exactly what happened. Böhmermann read out a poem, as they called it, a text, that was deeply insulting. It was truly insulting, offensive towards the Turkish president, Mr. Erdogan. On principle, of course, I also defend Jan Böhmermann's right to expression, and also, even though his text was deeply insulting, it was truly offensive. I grant him the right to speak and to his freedom of expression, of course. And of course, I would defend him against Recep Erdogan, who sued him, and on the basis of a law that most people had forgotten. We have so many anti-free speech laws on our books that people don't even remember what the hell is all forbidden. And so there's even a law that you cannot insult foreign leaders, and therefore he almost went to jail for reading out an insulting text. And to understand more of the joke that got Mr. K. Ray fired, you must understand that the part of that text that Jan Böhmermann read out was about the suggestion that Recep Erdogan was fucking goats. So this was a very rude text, very obviously. So Jan Böhmermann made a joke that the Turkish president was fucking goats, and then Mr. Erdogan sued Jan Böhmermann and almost got him into jail. Mr. K. Ray's text continues, or his joke continues with, well, how can Mr. Böhmermann write that Erdogan is fucking a goat? Of course, that does not work, especially since we all know that all the Turks fuck my mother. Actually, now, of course, he is talking to the crowd. If you make a Turk angry, he'll say, "I'll fuck your mother." This bears the question, why does he want to fuck my mother? I mean, she's in good shape, but she's 84 years old. And the joke continues in a chatty manner, so he continues like, now my mother is my mother, I am like her. That's why I think she would really enjoy getting fucked by a horde of Turks. But she has no time. She is sitting on a TV set and watches the couch. So this was a joke, and it was not some media outrage that got him fired. It was not anybody in the audience. I mean, it's I don't know how many people sit in the audience in this Corona times, but it was nobody from the audience. It was actually the waiters. They were supposedly either Muslim or Turkish, and they complained. This is, of course, a joke about Turks, and so he cannot, of course, defend himself with saying, "Well, it was not, it was criticism of Islam. Islam is an idea." Blah blah blah. The usual kowtow that people make when they try to talk about the conflicts between the immigrants from Muslim countries and everybody else. Um, those don't work. So he obviously has to admit that he was actually making jokes of Turks. Why in the world that is even bad is never explained. But he obviously, at least he stands up and defends himself. He has recorded a message which he uploaded on YouTube in German, and said that he stands by his principles, and he does not feel ashamed, and he does not feel sorry for making jokes about Turks, because he also makes jokes about everybody else. And this is what comedy is about. Normally, the bobs fly in all directions. Everybody gets offended occasionally. As you see in the picture right now, he is garishly dressed person, a very swishy person, and you would think that he's maybe homosexual, which I think he isn't. He has a daughter. I don't really care. Maybe he is, but I think he is not. And he is just somebody who does not fill in the perfect, I don't know, parameters of a standard man, and therefore, as such, he probably knows how to take punches, right? He knows how to take things on the chin, and he can probably assess what is truly offensive and what can be shrugged off. And this is a big concern of mine anyway. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't quite fit this or that standards, and who for that reason may fall the victim of some kind of discrimination. Now we have all this, this epidemic of lip services, how much our leftist elites want to protect everybody and so forth. But when push comes to shove, everybody will be thrown under the bus, and this is a perfect example. He is a straight guy, I think, but a swishy one, and as such, he knows perfectly well that he could be stopped in the street and by somebody who calls him a faggot and then being stabbed. There are these things that are looming as mass immigration continues. And there was just a recent case when 200 men in Frankfurt, I think it was, were attacking somebody, screaming, "You faggot" or something, and it was a swishy person. I think it was somebody dressed as a woman or something, and it barely made the news because there is no true interest in actually protecting the people that the left claims to protect. They care about a solid voting bloc that will always vote their party, which Muslims are, and they become more, right? The Muslim population grows, the homosexual population does not grow, the Jewish population does not grow, and ultimately there are a lot of people who are extremely Darwinian, who don't believe in God, who don't believe in higher morals, and as such, they will throw everybody under the bus, no matter how much lip service you hear by the day. And there is also this risk of a pushback against the overdoses of anti-racism rhetoric that these people take into account. And I think this is part of the picture, that they actually really don't care about the people that they claim to care about. And that's finally K. Ray falls victim to this. He could have seen this coming a long time, I assume, because he was working for the theater that is hard left for quite some time, and he probably noticed that everybody's equal, but some people are more equal than others, and that he doesn't have a status, possibly because he is not a true homosexual, just somebody who is also not a standard masculine male. This just exacerbates by the day, and it won't get better. So this is another example of a larger trend that you see internationally. I don't believe for a second that this transgender stuff will continue for long. Transgender people don't grow. By definition. I mean, there are some people who can be confused and stuff. There are a lot of mentally ill people that you can put into dresses. Yes, this happens, but they are not a solid voting bloc for long. They will ultimately be thrown under the bus. And the only thing that really protects people is the principles with which people give themselves, the laws with which we can control power, which is freedom of expression, which is freedom of speech, which is this thing Kay Ray still stands up for, and expressively so. You must also take into account that we are still living in the corona crisis, and losing the job now does mean that he will not have any income for a very long time. This was a very painful decision by the Schmidt Theater against him. That was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.